Hello and welcome back to the channel. I just finished this month's office hours with one gentleman who showed up and we had a lovely conversation, and I decided to just stay on and record an IFS demo. Before we get started, a couple of pieces of information just to situate you if you haven't heard of internal family systems. If you're new to the channel, hi, my name is Doris. I do relationship and personality type coaching, and today we're going to dip our toes into internal family systems, or IFS. This is a model that was developed by Richard Schwartz in the 1980s, and it has the following kind of organizing principles. We have many parts, internal kind of beings, each with their own emotions, bodies, behaviors, agendas, needs, motivations. If you're already tuning out, bear with me. I'm a little bit of a skeptic myself. But if this doesn't make sense to you, if you treat it as an active imagination exercise, which Carl Jung would have suggested, then maybe you can reap the benefits of this as well. So we have many parts, each with their own emotions. They're literally like people. You can talk to them like people. All parts are good and have noble intentions, even if their methods aren't always helpful. This will become clear once we start talking about protective parts and firefighter parts. They do things to distract you or to manage your behavior, and sometimes the intentions are there, but the execution is a bit off. All parts are part of a dynamic system, sometimes collaborating, sometimes competing or sabotaging. They're like members of your outside family also that you can talk with, who have relationships amongst each other and that you have relationships with. Self with a capital S is the centerpiece. You are self. Self is awake awareness, loving presence. It's always in the background. We sometimes get entangled or blended with a part and we think we are the part, but we're not. We're always self. And self is not a part. Right? So when you say, I am angry, you are not angry, you are self. A part of you is angry. Self is the North Star of IFS interventions. So parts heal in contact with self when they come in contact with self. Self is always whole. It cannot be damaged. It is innate. We all have it. The more access you have to self, the more you'll experience feeling the following: calm and clear, curious and compassionate, confident and courageous, creative and connecting. Those are the 8 C's that are the characteristics of self. A couple more pieces of vocabulary just so we're on the same page. When you focus on a thought, emotion, belief, impulse, sensation, whatever comes up, that's what we call a trailhead. So literally a little marker on, oop, there's something to look at here. So you can then decide whether you want to follow that trail to that part. Most parts are unsupervised young parts. So we want to bring this adult self energy in to kind of teach them, mentor them, take them out of their parentified children roles. Some parts protect exiles. Exiles are young, burdened parts, and the burdens can be anything from shame, pain, fear, terror, whatever kind of overwhelmed your system when you were really much younger and yourself couldn't handle it or wasn't fully online yet. So this part took over, and then the feeling or the memory was shoved into the unconscious or exiled, right? And then unblending occurs when you begin observing the part, when you are no longer blended with it. So once you recognize that you are not the part, that gives you something to look at, which creates a little space, and then self energy can come in, if that makes sense. The basic goals of IFS are to liberate parts from the roles that they were forced into so they can be who they were designed to be. The example that Dick Schwartz often gives is that once you relieve the inner critic of the burdens of being an inner critic, they can become your cheerleader. The other goal is to restore trust in the self and self-leadership, to reharmonize your inner system, and to become more self-led and less parts-driven in interactions with yourself and with the world. So the characteristics and the goals and everything that I just shared with you are from various courses that I've taken and various videos and books as well. This exercise is now from the book called No Bad Parts by Richard Schwartz, and I hope it's okay that I share it here. If not, I might get dinged for a copyright violation, but we'll know that once we publish it. I know it is freely available on a bunch of videos, so I don't think I'm giving too much away. Before we start, if you want to pause the video and maybe grab a bit of paper and a pen, and then we are going to get started with just a little grounding, maybe a little arriving in the moment, slowing it down, taking a breath. I'm also going to put both my feet on the floor, and I invite you to do the same because we want to go inside now. So if you turn your attention to your inside, no rushing, and just start by picking a part that is coming up. This trailhead could be, like we said, an emotion, a thought, a belief, an impulse, or a sensation. Just let one thing come forward naturally. And as you focus on that part, see if you can find it in or around your body. And stay focused on it until you get a good sense of how you might represent it on the page in front of you. We're not looking for anything beautifully rendered and sketched. It can literally just be a scribble or a circle or a square or whatever feels right. Any kind of image will do. And once you've put that first part on the page, bring your focus back to the same point where you found it, in or around your body, and stay with it and wait. And notice if something might shift and another part might come forward. It could be a different sensation, thought, belief, feeling, or impulse. And when you notice that shift, focus on that part. Find it in your body. Stay with it until you know how it wants to be represented on the page. And we're going to do this a couple more times. So feel free to pause the video if you would like to. The instructions are the same. Find and notice a part that wants to be noticed, located in or around your body. Stay with it until you know how to draw it on the page in front of you. And once you've drawn it, go back to that space and see if another part comes up that is related. And then once you feel intuitively that this cluster of parts, or Dick Schwartz called it a garlic clove. You know how a clove has, a garlic has several cloves in it, maybe 4, 5, 6, maybe it's just 2, maybe it's 8. Doesn't matter. Once you feel like this cluster is completed, I'm going to ask you a few questions. If you have more, pause the video now, and then we'll come back and do the questions once you've finished all the parts on the paper. Okay, welcome back. Now, if you hold this page at a little bit of a distance from you, so you can see the whole thing well, and you have a good overview, take a look at what you've created, notice what you notice, and take in this system of parts together as a whole. And as you look at this, you know, what people might call a mind map, these are the questions. Take your time with each of them. Again, feel free to pause the video as you need to. How do these parts relate to each other? Do some of them protect the others? Are there some that fight with or sabotage each other? Do some ally and gang up against other parts? Don't think about it, just see what comes up. The next question is, how do you feel toward each of these parts? How do you relate to each of them individually? And finally, as you look at this group as a whole, what do they need from you? And when all of that feels complete, take a moment to thank your parts for letting you map them and get to know them a little better. If any one of them stood out, let them know this isn't the last time you visit with them. Maybe make a point of remembering to check back in with that one or two parts later today or tomorrow. And then you can gently shift your focus back outside. So that was the exercise. Questions that usually come up or that might come up for you is, what if you can't feel anything in your body? Completely okay. Some people are less body aware and that's not a problem. So instead of the physical connection, maybe notice a thought or an image that might have popped up and work with that. And if you can only find one or two parts, that's okay too. Then that is the map. If you, again, found a part that needs more attention before others will show up, just honor what came up, and that's okay. Whatever comes up is the right thing, right? There's no wrong way of doing this. Your drawings can look like whatever they want to look like. This is something that I just signed up for a dream school from this Jungian life. If you're familiar with the podcast, there's a dream studio part in it where we are creating our own red books. Super excited. I am not an artist. Of the 400 other people, maybe, 385 aren't artists either. So that's okay. It doesn't matter. Just squiggle what feels good for you. If you get flooded or if you felt overwhelmed during the exercise, it's okay to stop. It's okay to pause. You don't have to do anything that feels uncomfortable. Specifically, if you're by yourself, I would hope that you honor your energy system and just go as far as you can. And you can absolutely do this exercise again, starting with a different trailhead, see how that feels, and get a map together. Over time, this will allow you to just build a better overview of your inner landscapes, right? All the things that pop up for different emotions, let's say. How is this different from normal journaling or normal mind mapping? I think the different piece is the intention, and also the follow-up, if you wanted to do it, is where you actually have a conversation with those parts, where you talk to them, right? With an IFS practitioner, there's a protocol of questions. And if you wanted to try it by yourself, you can also absolutely do that. You can find the questions online. I'm always going to suggest to do it with somebody in the room so that if things go out of hand, there will be someone there to hold space for you. So yeah, I hope you found this helpful. Let me know the maps you came up with, and I'll see you in the next video.